here we are with
and
Scott Carty.
Here comes Scott.
Here comes Scott Carty.
And they're like, oh no, not again. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good to see you again.
It's good to see you again.
Third time around, eh?
In London with the trilogy coming to an end of The Hobbit with the Battle of the Five Armies and one very, very demanding Richard.
Tall dwarf.
One tall dwarf. The tallest dwarf of them all. Dwarf. Yes. Great job in this, as always.
Thank you.
And what an exciting, spectacular, amazing finish to this trilogy.
That's a lot of adjectives.
It is. It's a lot in one.
Yeah, it's a tall order, isn't it? And I think Peter's really risen to the challenge. He's created something that he's very passionate about, a story that in the way that he wants to tell it, and a very wide demographic to serve. And you know, there's all the humor there. There's, you know, he doesn't shy away from the violence of what war really looks like. Yeah, and I get to play Thorin's descent into madness. So yeah, very thrilling.
You get to take that character into a range of different places.
Yeah, and it was a bit of an experiment actually, and I love the fact that Peter really goes with the character into the abstract. You know, that moment where he's finding his way through the gold and in the caverns of Erebor, deep in the mountain, where he says he'll take his hoard and hide away, and Pete goes down there with him, and but nice to see that there is redemption at the end of it.
We think that we know all the characters coming into this, but there are really some different layers revealed, I think, of each of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I think we're playing this in three pieces, because you really need to have felt that you've spent time with them, and we've spent 3 years with these characters, really. And, you know, they're never too far from your mind. But there's one particular moment in this movie that really stays with me, and it's when Gandalf's looking at Bilbo with the Arkenstone, and he has no lines, but there's something that Ian does with his face, this understanding of who the Hobbit is, and that this tiny little being is going to change the whole course of events because of his goodness and the love that's in his heart, and Gandalf sees it. So it's what the whole trilogy is all about.
What are you going to miss most?
I'm going to miss the guys, actually. You know, we haven't really been around each other since we were in New Zealand, but there's been this sense that we're going to come back together, you know, at Christmas. We'll see you again. I'll see you again at Christmas. And, you know, maybe we won't see each other again until the next convention. But yeah, no, I think, you know, the relationship I've had with Pete, Fran and Philippa and Warner Brothers and New Line has been very, very kind of loving and warm and wholesome, and I'll miss that.
What are you going to miss the least?
I think getting into that costume and sweating and feeling hot and tired will be something that, yeah, I don't know if I'd jump to working in so many prosthetics again, but I'm sure if it was an interesting character, I would.
Martin said he was going to least miss his wig, but he said he couldn't...
Was he wearing a wig? I thought that was his hair.
It's so convincing.
It is.
It's so convincing. But he said he couldn't complain because of what you had to go through with the 3.5 hours of makeup every day.
It's true. I mean, the first few times you put it on, it's horrendous. But weirdly, you just forget about it. You know, there's so many more important things to think of. You know, once you get... And I was very lucky because they gave me so much material. You know, Tolkien gives Thorin so much material. You know, he's deeply in his own mind and in his body. You know, when he's on that battlefield as a warrior, the last thing you're thinking about is the thing that's stuck to your face.
Yeah.
That's for someone else to worry about.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful. It's a spectacular finish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you as always. You've been absolutely accessible all the way through, and I appreciate that.
Bless you.
I know everybody with the Broadcast Film Critics Association does as well.
Great. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Thanks.
Take care. Cheers.
Thank you, Scott.